seems to be occurring now, where you're standing on the sidelines, and so not all of you, but a lot of people I haven't seen in years. But you know, we're all in this community together, and you kind of sort of sense it around there, and then you end up in a soccer field, and you're standing there, and now you're 15 years later, standing there watching your kid run around. You look over, and there's somebody you haven't seen for 15 years, and the last time you saw them, they were lying flat on their ass in some bar down in Courtney Place, right? So we live in this little village. It's just a nice size, not too big, not too small, but, you know, you can't get away with much either, right? So you have to be pretty careful about, you know, how you clean up behind you. So I mean, all I really wanted to say was that, you know, it's been a fantastic years living here. I'm kind of looking forward to the next one. This is a bit of a milestone year. Getting married to Sarah, my wife, that was a milestone. That was a huge day. I made the right decision. And I have a little story that I just have to finish off for you as well. Because you know, everything's a lot more predictable these days with the kids, because you need to know what the outcome is, and you can't go, you know, throwing too much in. But when you know, too much, it's unpredictable in there. So Sarah tried to have this day today and probably try and keep it, you know, suppressed, and that I wasn't going to find out about it and all the rest of it. But I think that the truth is that for the number of years that we've been together now, she's always tried to she's been hanging out to one-up me, you know? It's that one thing. She's just, I don't know what it is. Whatever she does, she's managed to email everybody. She's tried to organize things, but she's always kind of hoping, can I get the one over them? And I got to tell you why this runs in her veins, and I know even today she really wanted the whole thing to just occur without me knowing, and just bang, have it happen. But I'll just take you back, because, you know, there's heaps of stories, but this one particular one was, I thought that I would whisk Sarah away for a weekend years ago, when we'd only been together for, well, maybe a year or 2 years or something, and I had this idea about taking her over to Melbourne and take her over to see the Phantom of the Opera, right? Yeah. And then I thought, okay, well, and my thing was always about pulling the wool over her eyes, because she was that really lovely, innocent Rose, English Rose, you know, from Ashburton, from Canterbury. And anyway, so I booked the tickets, I booked the flights and all the rest of it, and then I got around to figuring out that I got her passport, and then, but she only had an English passport. She didn't even have a Kiwi passport. So then, you know, by this time it's like Tuesday, and we're flying on Friday. So I've just kept saying to her, you know, this and that, and then I actually conjured up a whole reason to get her to the airport as well. So get her out of work, take her to the airport, and my brother works in the film industry, so I just came up with this elaborate story, which was that Tim was shooting in Australia, going back to BC, but he's coming through Wellington, so I really wanted to see him, so he's going to be at the airport for an hour on a layover, so why don't you and I go out to the airport and take him out and see him. So, yeah, so the whole thing just constantly got, you know, it was a litany of lies, right? And as I say to people, my whole life is run, and it is part about being in Wellington as well. It's like, that Confucius says, you know, he who is a liar must have a very good memory, right? So, you know, so you remember, you know, if you tell a few little lies and stuff, you have to remember, because it gets bigger than white, doesn't it, right? So anyway, now I'm getting quite complicated, because I'm sort of thinking all these things of what have I told Sarah, and what was the story there, and all the rest of it. And of course, this was like the piece de resistance. So anyway, long and short of it was that she didn't have a passport, so I realized that I could get her out of the country, but I couldn't get her back. Right? So it was going to be a one-way ticket for Sarah to Melbourne, right? And when she came back, we would have been knocked back, because she didn't have a re-entry permit for her British passport, because her father was British, right? Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I had to get her a Kiwi passport. How do you go and get somebody a Kiwi passport without them knowing? There's only one person you could do that to. And I managed to fly into her office, go sign here, this, it's all, you need all these ID documents. If you're going to come out and see my brother, the security, they'll probably pat you down, all the rest of it. So I went into her office and just ones that on a sign, don't ask. She signs the back. She's working for a lawyer. Grab all the stuff, take it out, go back down, right? Meanwhile, I called the British High Commission, told them what's happening, right? They said, oh no, we think we could get her a re-entry permit if you could provide a birth certificate. Same time I got two going, just to hedge myself. Re-entry permit and get her a full-blown Kiwi passport. She's now, whatever, 20-something. She's never had a Kiwi passport, right? First time she's ever left the country. So I've gone around, got all these bits and pieces, right? And anyway, and they both came together at the same time. I had to buy flowers. Flowers for everybody. I had to go down to the consulate, the commissions, flowers for girls, boys, dinner, and stuff like that. Right? I got all my bits and pieces, got them all together, get to the airport. Packed her bag, and all the rest of it. Packed no underwear. Packed, right? Got all the way to the airport and stuff like that. And then we're standing there, and Sarah's going, "Where's your brother? Where's your brother?" And then I just pulled out the passport, slapped it on there, and go, "We're off to Melbourne."
And I burst into tears and ran to the ladies. That was the biggest achievement of my life anyway, pulling it off. I managed to pull it all the way, right to the very last minute when I slapped the thing down, 2 tickets to Melbourne. And she went, "Where's your brother?" And I go, "He's not coming with us, I know." And so ever since that day, she's always tried to do, but the thing is that, little pieces squeak out. And we had a classic example the other day. We're sitting with Joss, which is one of the guys that's getting the brewery going. Is Peter and Joss that are driving it. And Joss and I are sitting down having a bit of discussion, and I get a phone call from a guy that some of you might know, Stephen Cox. And Cox, he calls up and goes, "Mate, oh mate, I'm so sorry, we're going to be away that weekend." What weekend, Steve? And of course, he didn't even cover very well. He went, "I always do that. I've blown it." And then, of course, it was out. But anyway, I want to say thanks to everybody for coming. And everybody fits into the global village, and everybody fits into everybody else's lives. We've got some sailors here, we've got some foreign exchange people here.